Hi, I thought I'd put a little video on here on how to cool down your laptop. I found little bits all over the internet, so I thought I'd put them all together with bits that have actually worked. Nothing too drastic at all. It's all simple and it shouldn't, I say it shouldn't, it won't destroy your laptop or anything like that. It's very simple. Firstly, download this Speccy, I believe it's Speccy, S-P-E-C-C-Y, and this will let you just monitor your heats because it's quite hard to find those settings. You don't get a lot of that on laptops. As you can see, I'm running quite well. I say I'm quite, quite high in my opinion. I'm not spending £1,000 on a laptop. This is about £800 new. That was 2 years ago. If I spent the same now, I'd get a better graphics card. But an 860M isn't too bad for a laptop. And to be honest, you shouldn't, in my opinion, I've had this 2 years, don't get yourself a gaming laptop unless you have to. Get yourself a PC. It's just been a pain to keep cool, and you feel like it's going to set on fire sometimes when you're playing silly high spec games. Evolve, when it first came out, was a nightmare. I could only play it for about 20 minutes before I felt I had to turn it off. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I've got my fan on, running this lovely Cyberpower. Build it myself. Well, I didn't build it myself at all. They built it for me, but I picked the parts like it. Firstly, I'm guessing if you haven't, if you haven't got something like that running, and it's all done inside the computer, it's probably best to get yourself something that goes on here, and you can go on eBay. They're about £8, and it's a little external fan that clips onto your vent, and then you can control it manually, and it's a bit more high powered than I presume most other laptops. My last laptop, by the way, I was modding Skyrim and it blew up. Well, I say it blew up, it's just completely stopped, and what happened was I overheated it. So don't do that, and I've learned from my mistakes. Learn from my mistakes, please. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you can do externally first, and then I'll show you what you can do internally. I flipped it over, and what flipping over has done, if you're wanting to play with a controller, just do that with it, plug it into your TV, and that way it's going to have all the ventilation it needs. It should stay quite cool, and that's a simple way to do it. It might look silly, it doesn't harm it at all. It's just got the monitor on the floor instead, as long as no one stands on it. Keep it on the table. You can also get yourself little fans. This was £2. Yes, it's got sellotape on it now, because don't get the cheap ones. They are shockingly bad, but at least it helps. Got yourself a little tray here. Keep it elevated. You need air to come, because what this does is it's pushing air into this, trying to get it into all your little holes, and that way it can help push air in, and then your actual fan will push air out. And that's the way laptops work and PCs work. So get yourself a decent one with some big fans. This has got tiny fans. Get yourself big fans, and that should help about, again, 3-5 degrees Celsius if you're lucky. But again, it helps. And that's pretty much all you can do. I guess another one would be to be near a door. Keep the door open. Ventilation is a key for keeping it cool. And just pointing out, I'm sure you all know this, don't put a laptop on your lap. If you do that, you're going to have a bad time. It's going to get very hot, okay? I mean, that's running at 42 Celsius, and that's very cool. If I had that on my lap, that would be 50. Quite easily be 50. So don't do that. Now you want to go to power options and edit plan settings. So it's in control panel, or you can go to the bottom right, click on the little battery, power options, you bring up this menu. What you want to do is get your advanced settings up. Well, actually, let me do this again. So power options, it'll bring up, and then you'll have a few options to pick. So I've got balanced, power saving, high performance. Don't really use high performance, there's no need for it. I've got an i7 in here. It doesn't need to be running at full capacity ever. So we're going on balanced. We're changing the plan. Change advanced settings. The main one you want to go to is processor power management. It doesn't do anything. You won't notice a big deal unless you're playing high performance games. I don't know why you'd be playing them on ultra or high. You should be playing on medium on a laptop because it just doesn't run fine. It just doesn't like it. And what you can see here is it's on 70% and 65%. And the reason it's higher on battery is because when it's plugged in, it will get hotter. And the reason for that is it's trying to bring power to your battery supply and bring power to the rest of your components. And it's always trying to put more power into your battery while it's on. So you can take the battery out and that works. It should cool it down a little bit. I haven't seen any negative effects from keeping your battery out. The positive effect is that your battery will last longer. But there we go. But yeah, I've got mine down to 70 and plugged in is 65. You know, that was on about 80 to no, that was 100. And I've gradually put it down to a position where it works fine playing games. I mean, I'm running Skyrim on Ultra and Fallout on Medium, Fallout 4 on Medium, just about. But that's with a lot of mods though. But yeah, so you want to get that down. Start off about 80 and then work your way down to how far you can get it where your processor still can give you some power, but it's not starting to run slow. Okay. In the same option, you'll have, it's just above it, you'll have system cooling policy. You want to keep it plugged, when it's plugged in, keep it active. On battery, it doesn't really matter because I presume you're keeping that quite cool. Depending, you know, saying if you're just changing one of the balanced, power saving or high performance. But on this one, I'm keeping battery life, battery passive because I can turn it on anyway, but you might want to keep it active. Above that, we got PCI Express. This, if you're using this one as your high performance, you're going to want to keep it either off focus. You want to keep it either off or on moderate power saving. If you put it on maximum power saving, your games will run really slowly and it just doesn't work very well. Yeah, that's PCI. Another one you want to go to is Intel R graphic settings, and all this does, it shows what the performance you want to be using. So when it's plugged in, I've got it on maximum performance, which is fine, you know, use that. I'm doing that. If you want a game to run properly, you're going to probably have to use that. Balance is fine, it won't run as good obviously, but I'm doing that. I'm going to put it on battery as well because I like to run it off my battery again for a while. It cools the laptop down because it's not plugged in, but it still, for some reason it still doesn't run as quick. Maybe it's you've got to go into your NVIDIA settings if you've got a NVIDIA card and change those, but I'll show you those after this. But yeah, put those on maximum unless it's getting way too hot, and then keep it on medium. Yeah, that's that. That will be all power up and settings, so you can close that, and then you will either have, oops, back to power options. So now you've got your high performance. You can also obviously use your high performance one, that's high performance, but I'm choosing my balance one. And then you've got your power savings. So make sure you switch them when you're just watching a film, otherwise it will still get hot. It is a bit silly, but there we go. Hopefully you have got GeForce Experience. Let's get on that. Yes, I do approve. As you can see, I'll get War Thunder. Just downloading it at the moment. That's why I'm doing the video, because I'm bored. Let's wait for it to load. Unfortunately, it's updating at the moment, but going back to Speccy. Oh, there we go. Timing. Back to Speccy though. If you see that go red and it goes up to 61, don't be worried, because laptops are meant to run quite hot. They're meant to run hotter than PCs. They can withstand quite a lot of heat Just don't keep it up there too long, hour max. Like I said, mine goes about 78, very much on the verge of it blowing up. It shouldn't do, it should turn off. All laptops have a built-in system where it will just turn off if it gets too hot, so don't worry too much. But if you want it to survive for a good couple of years, then yeah, just keep on top of that. And this is GeForce Experience. I'll show you how to do drivers quickly. Literally, download this, drivers at the top, and this will say if you have any new driver updates, and this will keep you up to date with all games so they don't run, so they run smoothly. It's a good little tip there. It's much better than doing it manually and you accidentally putting the wrong driver on. I've done that. Don't do it. It kills everything and you have to reboot everything. What you want to do is go to settings. You got general, which you can have a look through if you want. You won't need to change much. Go down to games and it will go to battery boost, and what I've done is I've gone from battery all the way up to quality, because you know you don't need battery life unless you're obviously out and about. You want to change that right back down, but you're not going to play games without your battery pack. Put that up and that should play games a bit smoother. Again, it might make it a bit hotter, so you know, find your medium. If you are using this or you've just downloading it, just make sure that if you're going to use the optimal settings, let me put this for it. Let me show an example of this. Oh, come on. Fallout 4. This is my Fallout 4. Some settings are higher, other settings are a lot lower. As you can see, it's telling me I need to have some things off. But what you should probably look for is some of the optimal settings will be higher than you can actually handle because you're on a laptop. It does know you're on a laptop, but it doesn't take in the heat factors, unfortunately. So what you want to do is leave this unless you're perfectly happy using it. You know, you can use it, but leave this if you want to be in complete control of what's getting your computer hot while playing games. That's pretty much everything. I mean, if it's still getting really hot, I mean, you can buy yourself a cool mat, which is used for multiple things, but you just put it underneath, say, the cooling fan, and that should blow slightly cooler air up. I wouldn't recommend freezing anything and then putting them under. I've tried it. It does work, but you know, it does blow up condensation and it may harm your computer. So if you have to, maybe, but I wouldn't do it again. So that's everything. Sorry about the focus, it keeps going out. I'm doing it on my phone. My game's just about to finish downloading, so I'll leave it there. Have a nice day.